Hello, everyone, and welcome to the High School Football Frenzy. I'm Todd SADOWSKI. Perhaps no other holiday gives you the feel of this 2020 season more than Halloween. You never know if the next day or game's going to be a trick or a treat. Can't say enough about the efforts from the players, coaches, and athletic departments to make this season happen. Yes, the reduced playoff field can be viewed as frightening for the teams left out in the cold, especially the unbeaten ones. We have some playoff matchups tonight, and our game of the week is special. Now, it's hard sometimes to take this next guy seriously, but Andrew, I have to admit, I'm really jealous right now. You get to hang out at Landis Field to witness one of the more intriguing semifinal matchups we can remember. An ultra-talented Central York squad going up against a big, bruising team from Central Dauphin.
Good evening, boss. Yes, I'm a man of simple pleasures. Great fall weather, two really good athletic teams, and postseason football. You mix all of that together and you get a dynamite of a matchup between Central Dauphin and Central York. The Rams, they've been here before. They're the defending District 3 champions and state runner-ups. For Central York, they're trying to get their program over that hump. Tonight would go a long way in gaining towards their reputation. And Todd, respect is a lot. Like gravity, all it takes is a little push.
Just like reminding everyone after our wins, like it's not about these regular season wins, it's about the postseason, and just looking to all these leaders has been really helpful for all the younger kids.
Jack's right, the Panther leaders have been here before, 2 years ago against Central Dauphin, last year against Harrisburg, the same result, and neither has left their mind.
Playing in that game, it was a rough game. It's definitely in the back of our minds. A lot of the starters that play now played in that game, and we really just want to come back and come out with a chip on our shoulder. We really want to compete and fight for that win. And
winning, they have done, dominating the York Adams teams 354-10 this year. So what? Now they face the Mid-Penn, and this is a whole new animal in CD.
And in Central York, they have a good program. They've built it good after the past few years, but the Mid-Penn, we're still here, and we're ready to play.
Strap it up for this one. The Rams intend to make sure the Panthers feel it every snap.
I think our physicality, if we come out and pound them in the mouth, there's really nothing they can do besides just get back up and lose the game.
We bring that physicality every week. We'll hit you in the mouth, and that'll be it.
We have seen it before, and we will see that physicality tonight. 17 straight years in the district. That streak, though, isn't good enough.
Getting in the playoffs is certainly not the only goal that we have here. We want to make sure that we capitalize on the opportunity that we have.
Which team is ready for this moment? Will it be CD? They've been here before, or will it be Central York? They do have a card up their sleeve in Bo Prabula, the Penn State commit. It is going to be a great one tonight, one of the many great matchups around District 3. Our Alex Colley has more on them.
It's playoff time, so to borrow a phrase from one college conference, it just means more. And in the Class A championship, Steel High will travel to the Lone Catholic. The Steamrollers and Squires are not strangers, having faced off the past 2 seasons, including in the playoffs in 2019. Both those games went the way of the Squires, and in this undefeated matchup, both teams pack a punch offensively.
Eagles 22-yard line.
In the 3A semifinals, it could end up being a case of who likes to ground and pound more. Bermudian Springs will head to Middletown this evening, and both teams have shown no fear of running the ball right at you in this abridged football season, and both are fresh off back-to-back wins. While they may not be playoff games, they should still have playoff feels. COCALICO will venture to Manheim Township tonight. The Blue Streaks have reeled off 4 in a row after a tough gauntlet early in the season, while COCALICO looks to bounce back after falling to a stout WARWICK team last week. Both the Eagles and the Blue Streaks are in search of win number 5 on the season. If you're a fan of the black and red, then Warwick at Hempfield is the game for you. The Warriors will have their last tune-up of the regular season before getting ready for next week's playoffs. Hempfield, though, has a shot to get above the 500 mark as the Black Knights currently sit at 3-3. Mechanicsburg is another team trying not to look ahead to next week. This week, the undefeated Wildcats will close out the regular season by hosting East Penn. The Panthers got off to a 3-1 start before slipping up against Shippensburg a week ago.
All right, thank you, Alex. He's going to be at the Steel High DeLone playoff game. Lindsey Barna covering Bermudian Springs at Middletown for us. And there's still a bunch of high school football fans at home tonight watching. The best place to find all of the live streams is on our website, FOX43.com, in the Stream Center. Plenty of games around the area. In addition to the playoff contest, make sure to check out FOX43.com tonight for our live scoreboard as well. We've put together our Stream Center so you can find all of our local games in one place. Now, I can't stand it when something's hard to navigate, so we've separated the live streams by the leagues to make the game you're looking for as easy as possible to find. Still ahead, we pick out the best stuff we caught on camera from week number 6, put them in a countdown, maybe throw in a little slow-mo, some graphics. It's our top 5, and it's coming up when the Frenzy returns.
Welcome back to the High School Football Frenzy Show for our game of the week between the Rams of Central Dauphin and the Panthers of Central York. It's time to get serious, so we bring in CD head coach Glenn McNamee. Coach, you've been around a long time. You've been in a lot of these games. What was it like prepping for this game, knowing, or I should say not knowing, who your opponent was going to be up until Monday afternoon?
Yeah, this has been a year that's thrown a lot of curveballs right up to playoff time. You know, we pride ourselves on the way we prepare for teams. A little tougher this time around, not knowing who we were playing until later than normal.
You have great leadership core over there between Max Mosey at quarterback, Timmy Smith at linebacker, Paul Clark at linebacker, all your linebackers, Mr. Ficca, I should say. Do you rely on them more in this type of game?
I think this is one of those games, truly, we're going to need everybody to step up. Whether you're on special teams, offense, or defense, we're playing a really good football team. They don't really have any weaknesses. We're going to need all hands on deck tonight, and we're going to have to bring our A-plus game.
You've had a lot of games where you've dominated this season. They've had a lot of games where they've dominated down in the York-Adamsley. Knowing young kids, is this going to be the team that could take the first punch and respond? Is that going to define who comes out with the victory tonight?
There's no doubt that's going to be a big part of this evening. But, you know, one of the challenges, neither team has had a full 10-game regular season where you get to go through a lot more and experience a lot more and learn from all of that. You know, we both were robbed of that kind of, you know, process going into playoffs. So, yeah, the early part of the game is going to be key, and then resilience, handling whatever may go wrong.
You guys have handled that throughout the entire season and preseason leading up. What did you like about what you saw from your team this week in practice?
Tremendous amount of focus. I like the way they've gone about their business all year. You know, from the outside looking in, it looks like a normal year and a normal football team, but their experience has been anything but normal. They've done a magnificent job of handling everything that's been thrown at them.
Give me the one key for a Rams win here tonight.
Well, we're going to have to make sure not to turn the football over. That's always a big thing for us, and we've got to do a better job than what we've done in the past, forcing turnovers and not turning it over ourselves.
All right, Coach, as always, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
You heard it right from the man there, Todd. I know we are going to see some big plays offensively and defensively, and we saw some big plays last week as well.
I don't know how he kept a straight face looking at you. Andrew did a great job. Thank you very much. Big-time athletes and road graders all over Landis Field tonight. You know there will be some special plays in that one. Now, we task Lindsey Barna to pick and choose the best stuff from Week 6, and she counts down our top 5.
You know, Todd, I'm surprised Callista isn't out there in a t-shirt and shorts while I'm already prepared for tonight. And as you said, it's time for the Frenzy top 5 plays from the previous week. At number 5, the Rams have no problem running all over anyone who comes in their way. They even duke out the FOX43 cameras, pulling the reverse Romeo Fleck emergence. He accelerates past the CDE secondary, not even challenged on their shutout over the Panthers. Number 4, listen to this. Central York has outscored their opponents 354 to 10 so far this season. While the Panthers cruise to a 6-0, wait for it, a familiar sight from last year, the high five just before the end zone. On to number 3, cue the drums. Bermudian springs on the pitch, then takes a peek downfield for an option pass. Wide open Matt Zielinski, who sneaks behind the coverage, gives a good old stiff arm at the 15, shakes off the defender, and makes it look too easy. Number 2, the Trojans have shown talent in their wide receiving core, but Friday's game hosting West York was the Mike Bentavania show. First catching this monster pass from Camden Brewer, light him up, drummer. Then on defense, his teammate causes a fumble. Bentavania is first to jump on it. To top it all off, Bentavania has the footwork and no problem making sure the ball is secure on his way back to the end zone. At the top of our list, something is definitely fizzing in the water for the Bubblers. Not a single win last year, now 4-1. Patrick Garvey deep for Boiling Springs. He doesn't have any pressure, so decides to cut to the left, makes a few guys miss, cuts back inside. He goes untouched until just before the end zone, and then no one can take him down as he muscles his way in for an 81-yard punt return.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Next week will be a playoff edition of our Top 5. Time to check in with one of our Fox 43 digital content providers, Keith Schweigert. He also happens to be a longtime reporter on the local high school football scene. We break down this weekend's district playoff matchups. Keith, the strange season continues. We're talking about playoffs while regular season games still go on, but we're going to concentrate on these playoff matchups and just what I think is a phenomenal game, Central York at Central Dauphin.
Yeah, this one's going to be a good one. It's two really good offenses, a lot of talent on both sides, on both sidelines in this one. Central York just been rampaging throughout the York Adams League this year. Gary Janchik, their first-year head coach, installed that air raid offense, and they have taken to it quite a bit. 59 points a game. That led the York Adams League, and they averaged 417 total yards on offense. CD, the defending district champs, they got their talent as well and really rolled through the mid-pen. Max Mosey, the junior quarterback, has really stepped into his role as a starter this year after, leading that great playoff run last year. It's going to be, I think, a real good challenge for Central York here. Absolutely the strongest team they've faced all year.
Let's touch on the 3A semifinals, one tonight and one tomorrow. We got Bermudian Springs and Middletown this evening, and then Boiling Springs and Wyomissing tomorrow.
Yeah, Bermudian Springs, they finished third in Division III in the York Adams League. They lost to the first and second place teams in York Catholic and Delone. So other than those two games, they've had a very strong season. And then Middletown, they're coming in 2-game winning streak as well. Their only loss of the season was to Steel High back in week 2. So they're looking strong again. Of course, they've got the history here in districts with tons of championships, a lot of deep playoff runs for them, but it's a different cast of characters this year. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how they do coming out here and getting into the playoff. Yeah, Wyomissing, a strong team out of the Berks League. They were in Section 2 there. They finished, kind of a half a game behind Conrad Weiser in those standings, although they never played Conrad Weiser this year. So I don't know how you figure out who wins divisions and stuff this year, but so it's going to be a good challenge here for Boiling Springs. Their top rusher, Joey Menke, 483 yards and 7 touchdowns. We'll see if he'll be able to dent that Wyomissing defense.
And tonight's 1A championship, only 2 teams advanced to the title game, and I think they have the best 2 teams going, Steel High and Delone Catholic. That should be an entertaining ball game.
Oh, yeah, something's got to give in this one, and it's going to be really interesting. You got Steel High, which is just a dynamic, really fast-paced, high-scoring offense against Delone Catholic, who is one of the, if not the best defense in the York Adams League this year when you look at the stats for them. So Steel High, real good offense. They have the mid-pen's top rusher, top passer, and top receiver based on leaders for the season. And they're going to be strong. Real good challenge here for Delone Catholic. I know they look really good against York Catholic. They played some good teams this year, but this is a whole nother level for them, so we'll see how they're going to react.
Yeah, good stuff, Keith. There's a father and 2 sons traveling on the team bus for Steel High. What it's like for Coach Irby to have both of his boys on the Rollers roster coming up on the Fox 43 High School Football Frenzy.
Welcome back to the High School Football Frenzy. We have heard from the Rams side and head coach Glenn McNamee, so we now hear from the Panthers side and head coach Jerry Janchik. Coach, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Did you have a Herb Brooks type of moment trying to fire the guys up? Because this is a moment that I feel like Central York has been waiting for to get this program over the hump.
Not the Herb Brooks moment yet. That'll be in the locker room before we come out. But they know what they have to do. Last year, you know, I wasn't here. I've heard story after story after story about how disappointed they were in terms of not really showing up or maybe being intimidated by Harrisburg. They're ready to go. They are ready to go tonight regardless of how we fare on the field. It won't be because of intimidation. It won't be because they're not prepared. They just want to play football.
The Rams have cruised into mid-pen. You have cruised 354-10 or some absurd stat like that. Is this going to be a game to see which team responds from the first haymaker that's thrown to see who could get off the turf?
I think so, because there's so many good athletes on the field. I mean, the final of this game could end up being 45-44. You know, there's just so many playmakers that can go the distance anytime they catch the ball. So I don't think you can get real down if somebody gets a score. You guys say, all right, it's our turn. You know, it's like tennis. Who gets to serve? And that's how we're going to approach it.
Did you notice an uptick in intensity from the senior leaders and guys like Bo Prabula this week?
Yes, we have 24 seniors, and Bo's only a junior, so it's kind of like having 25 seniors. And this is a special group of guys. They believe in themselves, believe in each other, and they've always had success. So they just want to go out and prove that they can play.
For them to come out with a victory, what's the one thing that has to happen between the sidelines here tonight?
I think just play their style of ball. I don't think they have to do anything special. I don't think there's something like well, if we don't do this, then we lose. I think they just have to go out and play football like they have been, running the ball on defense. We've done that all year. And, you know, get our opportunities to catch the ball, run it, hang on to the ball.
Coach, thanks a lot. Really appreciate you taking the time, and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to send it over to Jessica Pash. It's a little bit of drizzle here right now. Jess, what are we looking at for the remainder of the night?
Yeah, that's right, Andrew. A couple showers that are moving on through, though they are breaking apart as they continue to move through. So not expecting any steady rain here in the forecast for this evening. It should be a mainly dry game out there. Satellite and radar showing that most of those showers, again, are falling apart as they continue to move further south and east. It'll definitely be a cold game out there, though. Temperatures right now are in the upper 40s, but they're going to be dropping off really quickly. We have freeze warnings that go into effect for a chunk of the area later tonight in anticipation of those chilly temperatures. Starting off the game in the 40s, falling into the low 40s by the end.
Thanks, Jess. Steel High's on the road at DeLone Catholic for the District 1A Championship tonight. Making the trip will be a father and his two sons. Alex Cawley tells us more about the Rollers football family.
Hold up. Heading into the 2020 season, Steel High's offense knew they boasted plenty of firepower. Highly touted recruit Mekhi Flowers, a pummeling running back in Odell Green, Damian Hammond, Tyrone Moore, a veteran O-line, and, well, you get the point. The goal, as Flowers puts it, is for everyone to eat.
I think he understands how deadly we can be when we're all working in unison. We can pretty much lean on anybody at any given time. We still need to have some things we need to clean up, but I was impressed the way we managed the game, the way we spread the ball around to multiple players.
Of course, there's one player tasked with spreading the ball around for the Rollers, and he's a freshman, though you'd never know it by watching him play.
I was really anxious, but I was also excited at the same time because Mekhi Flowers, 4-star, throw it up to him, right, make a play anytime.
People don't understand a lot of those plays are checking at the line where he's calling and checking from a run to a pass. So for a freshman, he's shown a lot. His preparation is awesome. He really loves the game.
Alex Irby has grown a lot in a short time, and in more ways than one.
In my 7th grade year, I was only like 5'5" or 5'4", and just sprouted up out of nowhere.
He's also made huge strides when it comes to his knowledge of the game, but when your dad is also the head coach, it certainly helps.
Draws up on the board, draws up, learning how to coverage. I didn't know nothing about coverages before the season. Then he just taught me up since wintertime.
He worked on the X and O's part of it. He really worked on his body. He really worked on his throwing mechanics. And he knows he has a long process, but he understands he wants to be special. I think he wants to make separation as a elite quarterback, so I think he'll continue to do that.
The next 4 years will be a true family affair for the Irbies. Andrew Irby Jr., Alex's twin brother, is a defensive lineman for the Rollers.
I'm dad at home, and then we just leave football at football. I told him, if you want to do more, you want to ask questions, we'll do it. It's really father relationship. So sometimes in the game when he yells over, hey, Dad, and he changes the play. So he forgets to call me coach at practice, but we'll let him go away with that.
In Steelton, Dauphin County, Alex Cawley, Fox 43.
Thanks, Alex. A little more than 30 minutes from kickoff in our frenzy game of the week. The district championship will be York High against the winner of tonight's Central York and Central Dauphin. The frenzy returns after this.
What a way to wrap up tonight's high school football frenzy as we kick off the District 3 6A playoffs. Central York, Central Dauphin. These are two heavyweight guys about to go at it in the ring, and all I could say is, here we go.
All right, thanks, Andrew. Can't wait to see the highlights tonight. Final reminder about our Fox 43 Stream Center. If there's a local school live streaming their game, you can find it here at fox43.com. High school football goes with you wherever you can connect to the Fox 43 Stream Center. That's going to wrap up this episode of the High School Football Frenzy. For Andrew, Lindsay, and Alex, I'm Todd Sadowski. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the live scoreboard on fox43.com. Join us for the Frenzy Highlight Show on Fox 43 News at 10.